Hello friends, Jai Shri Ram. Today we are going to see how to make spinach soup, that is palak ka soup. Especially in North India, people eat palak soup, especially during the winters. Palak, that is spinach, is rich in iron. It is good for your eyes. It is good for your overall, vigor. You must have seen that cartoon Popeye. It has very much exaggerated it, but this is true that if you eat spinach, it has iron. Iron leads to the formation of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin carries oxygen. So when more oxygen is carried through your body feels more lively. So you get a lot of energy if you eat spinach in your diet. Now, how to eat spinach? People eat it in different ways. People make vegetable with it. Today what we are going to see is how to make a tasty soup out of it. This can be a really good addition to your breakfast. Maybe in your breakfast you can just have that soup. That is also great. And it is very good for your health, especially your eyes and your bones and overall liveliness that you feel. So for making one bowl of spinach soup, I am going to require this much of spinach. Okay. And I'll also be adding 3 spring onions, 1 bright card, that is tej patta, some turmeric, some chili, some cumin powder, that is jeera pud, that is jeere ko pisa hua hota hai, so this is called a jeera pud. And we'll be roasting everything in ghee. We'll be adding some salt at the end when we are almost going to eat this soup. So I'm using rock salt. If you don't have rock salt and if you have common salt, then use common salt, no problem. But add the salt at the last. When the whole recipe is almost at the room temperature, at that time you should be adding salt so that the iodine content of the salt does not vaporize. Okay, now first things first. Please wash the spinach well. All the leafy vegetables, before cooking, they must be washed really well. Okay, so if you observe this, I've washed it really well and I have overwashed it, so you can see that I've almost hurt the leaf, but it is necessary. Keep washing it well. So how do you wash it? Take a big container, something as big as this cooker. Take that kind of a container. Put this in the container. Put some water, means run it under the tap, and then you have this kind of a motion to wash it. Wash it with 1 water, 2 water, 3 waters. That's how you do it. And then you remove the stalks of this palak. I've already removed the stalks, as you can see. Now you can also wash the spring onions well. Don't trust the brand from which you are buying it, that they must have washed it. Of course they must have washed it, but you should also wash it. Sometimes this last layer will peel off, which is good. It usually has a lot of mud, so let it peel off. Wash it really well. Then you cut the roots. Okay, till here I have done this much. Now what you should do is you should cut this spring onion into small parts. So take a vegetable cutter board. Prefer having a stainless steel vegetable cutter board instead of a plastic one, so that the plastic does not get into your food. And you hold it like this. Okay, you hold it like this so that your fingers don't cut. And then you try to have this kind of a motion. Got it? You try to have this kind of a motion and you cut them. Okay, so you can cut them as small as possible. Now my culinary skills are not very good, so I'm cutting them to this size, but you can cut them even more. Some people cut out the tips of it because they feel that they must be bad, so you can also do that if you want. Okay, that's it. Now what we will do is we will just put this much part into the kadhai. Okay, we'll put this much part into the kadhai. Okay, and we'll be roasting it. Okay, now I'll be using 1 tablespoon of ghee. 1 tablespoon of ghee. Try to have the liquid ghee. I don't know, somebody told me that the ghee should always be in the liquid state while you're eating it. So I'm not really sure about it, but I've followed it after that. Has it started? Yes. Okay, so it is at low flame, and I'll also be putting this jeera pud to it. I'll put maybe 1 teaspoon of jeera pud, 1 teaspoon, and very little chili, maybe half a teaspoon of chili, half a teaspoon, and similarly half a teaspoon of turmeric. Many people don't add turmeric, it's up to you, but I usually like to add turmeric to everything. And one bright card, that is tej patta. So I'll be using a small tej patta, and I like to many people use this tej patta and then throw it away. So instead of doing that, it's always better to maybe cut it. Of course, to cut vegetable, I use scissors. So I usually use a very small part of this tej patta like this, and that should work. That is more than, and I will eat that. Okay, I think that is absolutely okay, and you please close this well, otherwise dampness can get it. Okay, now you roast it well in that ghee. While it is getting roasted, you also cut the palak and start putting it into the kadhai. So palak is right over here. There is a pair of scissors with you. Just cut palak and put it like this. Don't worry, we are anyways going to blend it, so don't worry about the shape and size of the palak being cut. Yeah, and keep moving it, otherwise it will burn. So please keep moving it. Okay, now cut some more palak. You have to burn that palak, so don't worry about it. The idea is to burn it actually. And some more, but I'll keep moving it. Remove the water because we actually need to roast it. So if you add more water, it will take more time. Now why am I adding palak now and why am I roasting it? Because that gives a roasted taste to it, and besides it reduces the water content, because we are going to use this thing. I mean, we are going to put in some more water while blending, so anyways water content will rise. Okay, let it roast. Now I can smell it, so that means it is getting disintegrated due to heat. Okay, I'm just moving it around like this. Just keep moving it around. It will shrink in size, and that's why we took a lot of palak, because it does shrink. Whenever you heat any vegetable, it shrinks because its water content reduces and it burns basically, and a burnt thing is always lesser in mass because a lot of mass is lost due to evaporation of water. See, most of the water is getting evaporated. See, it is only this much now. So once this is done nicely, okay, let me check whether it is nicely done. Yeah, when this is done nicely, we just have to put it through the grinder, and then that puree will once again be heated. So I'm turning off the heat now. I've turned off the heat. Now you see, I'm just allowing it to cool down a bit, and then I'll put it in the blender, grinder. So there are a couple of attachments in your mixer grinder. One is this which is called as grinder. So you require to use a grinder. This is chutney maker, very small it is, and this attachment is called as blender. Okay, so don't use blender, you have to use grinder. Okay, so you take grinder and you put this into this. Now see, it must be hot, and if you're using a plastic grinder, then it is bad. So grinder does not come in plastic usually, but still, if you're using plastic, do not use it when it is hot. Then you let it cool down a bit and then you use it. Now it is at the room temperature. See, I can hold it. Now I'm using it. So don't worry, it cools down very easily. Now I'm trying to put it in the grinder. Just put the solid part. Forget about this water. This water will anyways, the puree will once again be heating in the same container, so don't worry about it, but put the solid part. Every solid piece should be put into this. Done. Now what do you do? Now you will require to add a little water so that it gets some binding. So add a little water. How will you do that? Yeah, how will you clean your fingers also? So take almost half a glass of water. So this is half a glass of water. Okay, this much is my glass. I've taken half a glass of water and I'm putting it little by little. So I'll put a little water first and I'll run it through the grinder. I only use this water to clean my hands, to be honest. Okay, I'm using it to clean my fingers. Okay, now you just close it, you grind it a bit. Okay, now you check it again. Yeah, it is done, but I need to grind it a little more. So thank God I did not put too much of water. So only 1/4 glass of water is required for this. So let me grind it again. Okay, I guess that is okay. If you want it even finer, then you can put it through the blender. Blender will create a smoothie out of it. But it's okay. I mean, this much is sufficient for me. In fact, I like it if it is a little fibrous. Means I feel good that yeah, I'm eating a lot of fiber. That's a psychological thing for me. Okay, now you put this puree into your kadhai. I usually use my hands for doing things. I wash them off as often as possible. Okay, so this is done. Now you just wash your hands quickly and wash the grinder as well. Okay, we'll wash it with the detergent later on. I'm currently just keeping it over there, but I'll be cleaning it with the detergent later on. Now what do? Now we just turn on the heat. Now I'm heating it at high temperature. Okay, previously we had heated on low temperature. Now it is on high temperature. We will let most of the water evaporate and let it come to the consistency that you want, and then it will be ready for consumption. We'll once again reduce the flame a bit. We'll let it cool and then we will add salt, and that is the end of the recipe. Okay, so let it heat a bit. See, now you will see that it is not very fine. So if you want a little finer one, then the way to do it is you run it through blender. Okay, now I'm adding rest of the water. Now, why did I heat it first and then added some water? This is to give it a proper heating so that it gets heated up properly. Yeah, and this soup is ready for consumption now. I'll just turn off the heat. Okay. Let it cool a bit, and after that, when I'm almost about to consume it, I'll be putting some salt into it. How much salt is needed? 1 teaspoon is sufficient for this much of palak soup. So that was the recipe of palak soup, that is spinach soup. Do let me know if you could make it at home, and do let me know if your recipe is a little different than mine, and also let me know why you cook it that way. Let us study culinary skills together. Until next time, Jai Shri Ram. This is Amit Shirasao, and you can support me at amit.shirasao@UPI.